Sonic Lost World. It was only discovered like what 2 days ago or yesterday.
Pretty much yesterday.
Pretty much yesterday, saying yeah, we have some trademark websites of Sonic Lost Worlds and Lost World.
Hmm.
So a lot of people going, oh, it's gonna be dinosaurs.
Is
No, it's not.
it?
That's what a lot of people jump at. Oh, it's gonna be Sonic with dinosaurs.
Well, unless you didn't read unless you went to Sonic Stadium and you just saw that screenshot, it's like no, that's from Sonic and the Secret Rings. Trust me.
Yeah, even I knew. I was in Lost World. The only level from Lost World is Sonic Adventure, and that's a giant water snake. It was a fucking good.
Right.
It was a fucking good level.
Yeah, tricky. I have to say that was a tricky bit with the camera, but that's a different story.
Anyway,
Um, yeah. So, well, it's a funny thing because again, when I read the story was again somebody had gone on the website and found out, oh wait, they just registered this name in the website dominant, which happens a lot of the times with video games. Normally, people find out about, oh, they're making a new installment of blah blah. Why? Because they've just tagged this website name in. And half the time, it's either a code name or it's not really, it's not the real name, or they're just sort of maybe it's got nothing to do with it. Half the time, it's never real. But this is the first time I think it's actually come true, saying yes, this is actually going to be the next Sonic game, even though we didn't tell you about it, but some sneaky bastard figured it out.
yeah, but only 1 day before the Nintendo Direct saying it was official.
But yeah,
Honestly, compared to every other Sonic game release, this is the most silent they've ever actually been.
it is true. I mean, you have to. I mean, we've had Generate. I'm just trying to think of now because
When okay,
it,
when Unleashed was first announced, it was a leaked trailer, and there's like leaked trailer got shows Sonic going through Missouri, then later on we had Sonic going through Empire City,
hmm.
and
I
also
remember
some
there was also the picture. They had one image of Sonic standing, and then there was the picture of the werehog, which was kind of shadowed out a bit, like the sort of they weren't revealing what it really looked like at the time.
and everyone cried foul saying, "Oh no, the gimmicks! Oh, the evil gimmicks!"
The evil gimmicks.
They was shit about the gimmicks, but
Yeah. Even the intro actually got leaked out. That was another thing. The actual intro to the game that got released out before officially the game came out as well.
yeah, a few better screenshots,
Yeah,
especially
but
the one
that's
with Sonic's mouth open.
that's the one where he looks really sort of like
Yeah,
he's
if you actually look at that compared to the actual main games, you can tell that's like beta footage because there's
yeah
no details and the emeralds look odd.
yeah. Speaking of someone who knows about animation, the one thing I've learned is everything can change within weeks,
Mm.
if not months of animation. So trust me, when people probably first saw that, they thought to themselves, "Why does Sonic look really, really screwed up?" It's like, trust me, they were probably just figuring out how to make it not look like he was having a seizure or looking like he was in terrible pain. But that's
Yeah.
just an animation thing.
We're going on saying this is the most silent lip syncer has been. Nintendo broke the mold. We got a new game for the Wii U and
Hmm.
3DS, and that's where a lot of and honestly, it's just been like just a few hours right now. Just a few hours, and already there's a petition against it.
Fucking knew this. I knew
I
this.
know. Okay, I will give them the benefit of a doubt.
Hmm.
This is reasonable.
Hmm.
Okay, but it's on the same fucking level as Bayonetta 2. It's a
Yeah.
contract exclusive.
Hmm. Well, again, you have to remember when they did Sonic Colors, that was again a Wii exclusive game at
Wii
the
and
time.
3DS, but the Wii was the main one. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, it's not the first time Nintendo's done this, where they made you can only play this game on this system. And to be honest,
not including Mario Sonic games, obviously. Oh yeah,
no,
get a new one of those as well, based on the Sochi Winter Olympics again.
yeah, well, again, that's bound to happen. I think that's going to be a week. That's going to be a yearly thing. I think now on there's going to be a Olympic game version of with Mario
Mario.
and Sonic in.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean,
I don't know. Have I told you this? Some people listen to this might hear the story. I remember before someone asked them saying, "Have you ever considered doing a platformer with Mario and Sonic?" And they said no because the game styles of both characters are so different from each other. That
mm,
was the only reason. But with that said, though, this is me trying to link back into Sonic Lost Worlds. When I saw that image, if you go on the website, any websites in general, Sonic Lost Worlds,
I'll put a image on it. Yeah,
yeah, if you see it, you obviously see it's Sonic and Tails and the plane flying up to this what looks like this sort of half-constructed planet, which is sort of made out of sort of hexagons or cubes essentially. In which my first reaction was,
to me it looks like the game. You heard the game Blockbusters?
Yeah, I think
That it looks like that.
yeah. Yeah, but again, the first thing I thought was, isn't this kind of like Mario Galaxy?
It does in a sense in a few Galaxy worlds.
Yeah. With that said, though, I mean, this is just going on just one image. I mean, let's be honest. If people are going to go bitch crazy about one Sonic image, then frankly, I think we're screwed. Then the Sonic fan base is screwed more than we think it is. But not to say every Sonic fan's mad, but I'm just saying for those who will go crazy and are saying, "Oh my God, they're just ripping off Mario Galaxy." It's again, it's
Oh
like,
my God! Something ripped off something. Yeah, do you know your famed Resident Evil franchise? The classics you said are the best ones. They ripped off Alone in the Dark.
yeah, it's true. That is true.
So everyone rips off something. It's just a matter of inspiration. You take elements and use them in different scenarios.
The way I see it is it's always everybody takes an idea, takes something off something else. It's just how do you do it? I mean, it's easy to say, oh yeah, we got a game with quick time events, but it's a case of, well, what do you do with it? Are you just going to do the bog standard thing of press the button or die, or try and do something funny and crazy with it?
Yeah, I'm actually I will go on a small little tangent. I'm actually considering doing like making a video of the top five best rip-offs, where it's just it's a rip-off game. You play it and it's like it just feels something good, but you still enjoy it.
Hmm.
Like Dante's Inferno, for example. It's
Hmm.
just God of War.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does things right. You just can't help but appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, the first game that comes up to mind as a rip-off is Simpsons Road Rage, which was pretty much Crazy Taxi.
It's probably the only good Simpsons game.
Well, there was Hit and Run, that was a few years ago, which
Not Road
coincidentally,
Rage, Hit and Run, Hit and Run.
yeah, Road Rage was the Crazy Taxi rip-off. Hit
Yeah,
and Run was the Grand Theft Auto-like style games, essentially.
and the skateboard, which was Tony Hawk, which is even worse.
Yeah, oh god, I saw a review of that, really just how bad it was.
You watched Categories, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Oh, yes. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I mean, the idea of, because, like I said, when we first heard about the name of the game, you said, I don't
It's
know,
it
this sounds
sound it sounds too mobile-ish. It's like Sonic Lost World. It doesn't really sound. I don't know. Compared to like Unleashed, Colors was actually the odd one in all this. Because you think Sonic Color. When I first heard the game Sonic Colors, I initially thought Mario Paint ripoff,
like.
and Sonic Generations, Sonic
Hmm.
Heroes, Sonic Adventure.
Hmm.
Even the
That,
smaller games like Sonic Rush and Sonic Rivals and Sonic Chronicles
hmm.
have a really good punch to it. And like, yes, it runs off your tongue. Sonic Lost World, kind of.
Yeah. To be honest, it's like I said, like you said before, it sounds like a mobile game because recently Sonic's been having quite a few mobile type of songs because we've had Sonic Dash, which is the running
Temple
Sonic
Run
train
ripoff
game.
and then Sonic Jump, which is like a dual jump.
Yeah,
And from what I hear, between the two, Jump is better.
yeah. There was also they re-released All Stars Racing, the first one on mobiles as well, so and like iPads and stuff.
Yeah, and also there's the Sonic 1 remake just released,
Yeah, exactly. So again, Sonic the Hedgehog's had quite a lot of sort of, small individual games, particularly on mobile devices.
but
So
but
again,
but,
it
but
is
nothing major.
now nothing major. I mean, that's the thing we've all been waiting for. We've been wanting to know what's the next big official installment
Yeah,
of the series.
not including All Stars Racing Transform. The last big Sonic game, which had a lot of hype for, was Episode 2, and
No,
that was, I think, from today, I think a year ago,
really? Bloody hell.
just about a year ago.
Yeah. And considering that, due to I think partly due to either really two things, either sales or fan cry, or probably whether Sega thinks it's a good idea or not. Again, it's still up in the air whether there's going to be an episode three, which I like there to be, because at least, you got to do it in episode three, I think, to round it off. It just feels a bit odd just to do two and that's it.
It does feel like it does, and plus the ending just feels a bit lackluster.
I know, although many fans have, again, tricky fans for figuring out stuff they're not supposed to do, hacked into the game and somebody found out there was a music cue at the end of the game, which they think must have been like a cliffhanger to be continue thing.
I mean, something that could have been used when you collect all the red rings.
Possibly. I mean, whether or not Sega took it out at the last minute or whether they were trying to be devious or something, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, it kind of I already have an idea what Sonic 4 3 would be like, but maybe I should leave it until later on.
I'll make it for Sonic 5, why not?
Yes, just make Sonic 5. Just go from 1 to 5.
But that's Sonic Lost World. I'm gonna go straight back to the petition because I can understand where they're coming from. It's like it's a Wii U and 3DS exclusive.
Hmm.
So what? Sonic Colors was a Wii and DS exclusive.
Hmm.
Sonic and Secret Rings, Black Knight, Wii exclusives. Sonic 06, PS3 and 360 exclusive.
Hmm.
Where's the problem?
I
And
don't
for
know.
that, the first 10 years of Sonic's cycle was exclusively on Sega systems.
Hmm.
Well, majority of them anyway. There was a few for other consoles like the Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Uh, and plus, every console's going to have exclusive. Sonic is like more of an all-rounder.
Hmm.
It's still going to be exclusives for specific consoles.
Hmm.
Like, oh, the PS3 version of Mortal Kombat has Kratos.
Hmm. I mean, even Soul Calibur, I remember that. That had like the GameCube version had
You
Link.
add Link, yeah.
Yeah.
So certain games being exclusives, it doesn't really phase me. The only thing I'm pissed off at is the fact I have to buy another console.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing I want to get onto actually about because first of all, it's not the first time we've heard, this game's going to be exclusive for a next gen console.
Yeah,
Because
when it's next console. When I first heard about Sonic 06, Secret Rings, and Rivals, I
yeah.
think I still got the magazine somewhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had the magazine for the 15th anniversary saying, "Oh look, Sonic 06, Secret Rings, Rivals. Look at these. These will be great." I
Hmm.
thought Sonic 06, great. I need an Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. Secret
Well, to be
Rings.
honest, again,
I got a Wii purposely for Secret Rings.
yeah, I remember you were walking around with it the first day you got it.
Yeah, it took a few months later, but I eventually got Secret Rings. That was the only reason I got it for it.
But I was trying to say because it's to do with the Wii U as well. Because well, first of all, this is slightly off track, but another game that was named exclusive and then sort of changed was Rayman Legends
Exactly.
because remember Rayman Origins came out, people liked it, but apparently nobody bought it that much. At least, well, I bought it. I mean, even you bought it, I guess.
Eventually.
So it wasn't a big seller. And then obviously the Wii U comes out and they asked obviously Ubisoft saying, "Hey, we need a game for our system. Can you make, because Ubisoft loves to, make out big release, like to be the first
Oh,
game to come out."
especially, I remember when the Wii was first announced, like, I think there was 7 games they made, like 7 games.
Yeah. I mean, Red Steel was one of the big things. Like, oh, you got to try Red Steel. It's like you're a samurai and all that stuff and all that business.
Bullshit. The
But
only Ubisoft game worth getting on the release was Raven Rabbids.
yeah, which ironically wasn't Rayman 4 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. But getting back to the point, because Rayman Legends was announced, that again got leaked out by various people to say this is going to be a Wii exclusive. Well, actually, it's going to be on all systems and the Wii U, but the Wii is going to do some clever, unique things with the touchscreens. And for a while, that looked okay. And then they announced, oh no, it's going to be a Wii U exclusive. I thought, oh, okay. It was like, well, at least there's a reason to buy the machine, at
Hmm.
least. And then when the Wii U came out, and almost just before, I think about just a month before the game was meant to come out originally, Ubisoft then decided, you know what, we're going to release it on all systems. You know what, we're going to put it on all systems, but we're going to have to push it back a few months now, which
It,
again
it,
is understandable.
it's pissed people off saying, "Oh, why the hell is doing this week not Wii exclusive anymore?" Quite a while ago, it's just been announced that it's going to have 30 new levels for the Wii only, for the Wii
Hmm,
U only.
yeah.
So you're still going to have your special touchscreen gimmicks and all motion sensor crap. It's just the PS3 and 360 is more of a watered down version.
Is it? Well, I was going to say, I mean, technically, how the hell would you make Rayman Legends work in a way that obviously doesn't use Murray? The whole touchscreen thing. You have to use Murray to do certain to let you go through certain areas of the game. I mean, how does that work for two consoles that still use old-fashioned controllers?
If they somehow magically work a way to make Connect and Move actually fun, then
Well,
maybe.
I was going to say, I mean, that alone would be the only excuse, but I don't know.
With the Move I can understand, but Connect, nah, I don't know. I don't feel like standing up every time and sit back down again.
Yeah. But this whole thing again, and the second thing I'm trying to get onto is the fact is the Wii U's been out for a long time now. About how many months now?
6 months.
6 months. And literally, most people say the problem with the console, there's nothing to play on the damn thing. I mean, the only real games people want to play, or at least the big ones, ideally want to play,
The
is like,
only ones that actually are worth getting is Nintendo Land, which you can get free with the Elite system, 10 or Premium if you call it.
yeah,
New Super Mario Bros. U, if you like going through that all over again.
yeah.
Zombie U, which is a decent game,
Hmm. Again, another
and
Ubisoft
that's
lost
it.
tech. Yeah.
Everything else is either ports or just shitty party games.
Yeah, I mean, the only game that got my interest outside of Rayman was Lego City Undercover. That was
Yeah.
about it.
Now we've got Legacy Undercover, which is okay.
Hmm.
In future, we're going to have Super Luigi U, and that's going to be a standalone release.
Okay.
We've got Pitman 3, we've got Bayonetta 2, we're going to get an own exclusive version of Rayman Legends, and now we've got Sonic Lost World.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you think, logically, it needs this game.
It does. It really does. I mean, the Wii U really
I'm gonna get a
needs.
console, I'm gonna get a Wii U just to play Sonic on it.
Like I said, I mean, that's the reason. I mean, you got to have one good reason. Like the PS2, for instance, is a good example. The PS2 that came out, first initial games, there weren't really anything special. There was stuff like Second Attack Tournament, SXX. They were kind of like, oh, here's something to tide you over until we get the big guns out. And the idea, the big guns were Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty, Gran Turismo 3, and I'm trying to think of a good third,
Devil May Cry,
Devil May Cry. And then after
and
that,
I guess to me and you was Crash Bandicoot 4.
yeah, well, for us, that was the excuse I bought the PS2 for, was to get Wrath of Cortex as well
Yeah,
as Naxter as well. That was the two first games I ever got for the PS2.
there wasn't really much to go on at first. Like every console doesn't have much to go on. The only reason the Wii excelled because it had came with Wii, every console came with Wii Sports,
Hmm.
which was a good novelty pack. It was
Yeah,
basically a standalone game.
it's the same
Also,
thing that Sega did with Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, you buy a Mega Drive, you get Sonic the Hedgehog with it.
yeah, and also it had a Wii version of Twilight Princess.
Hmm.
That alone sold the console.
Hmm. And remember, that was going to be a GameCube game, and then literally they decided, you know what, we'll put it on both pretty much.
Hmm. Because the strange thing is the GameCube version came out after the Wii version. And yet it's still even rarer than the Wii version.
But it is interesting to note that, again, first of all, Sega and Nintendo have pretty much had a hand-in-hand relationship for many years now. I
Yeah.
mean, even during the age where supposedly they were battling each other. To be honest, they were sort of just looking over each other's shoulder thinking, "You're right, yeah, you, yeah," pretty much. And then as soon as Sega went bust, well, Sega's console generation died out. It was obviously, do you need a hand? Yeah, we do.
Yeah. The contract between Sega and Nintendo can work.
Hmm. And it has worked in the past. I mean, they've
Yeah.
done stuff for them over the years, and it's worked out pretty well. I mean, again, to have sort of Hedgehog as part of the Nintendo console lineup is the general thing these days. You know, before it was unheard of, but now it's like it's just that's the way it is now. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog's going to appear on all consoles, even Nintendo. And
Yeah.
so the fact that we're
Also,
getting
also speaking of exclusives, Sonic had a Connect exclusive title.
yeah,
It was shit, but it was an exclusive. You had to fork out for another console add-on.
yeah. Although
It's the same reason. You had to spend extra to play it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. At the end of the day, they want you to get a console for a specific reason. It's either A, for the technology wise, or B, because they got this game, you want to get it, you want to try it out. And again, Sonic Lost World, that and Rayman Legends, I would glad to get a Wii U just to try those.
And for me, Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we should actually try and talk about what the hell Sonic Lost World should be now, actually. What we think it could be.
So far, it just looks like a building world kind of thing,
Hmm.
which I don't think will be very good as a gimmick.
No, I don't think it will be a building game. I think it'll probably be something like as you go through the world, like you said with Unleashed. In that game you had to restore the world
If you
pieces.
restore the world, like collect little hexagons to rebuild it,
Hmm.
but that kind of to me right now kind of reminds me of the mineral farming from Mass Effect 2. So that's not giving me a good idea.
But again, it's like there's definitely a lot of ideas what they could do with this game. I mean, obviously from what we've seen from the one image, and it's already got me ideas. So I mean, again, it'll be like a lot of other Sonic games. Like you'll start in like probably a very natural world, and then you go through different areas like a fire world, ice world, cave world, whatever, in an industrial part. Really, that's guaranteed to happen in all Sonic games, pretty much. Those sort of themed areas.
Yeah, it has the zones axe boss.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of what the areas are going to be or what they're going to play like and stuff, I mean,
Or the stories in general.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's funny because when I was thinking about it, it's like we know over the years. I mean, the one thing we learned about game developing is that there's always things that get cut, right? There's always ideas they never get a chance to make and they never get to put in. So I actually thought of a funny idea. What if this was a good excuse for Sonic Team to make levels that they wanted to make, like in say Sonic 3 or Sonic CD, but they never had a chance, and this is kind of their excuse to make those levels again, ideally improve them or try and update them because they'll be pretty old ideas by today's standards. But try and sort of do them in a unique way for a new generation, for a new console.
You know, what it be on the Wii U and 3DS is that you have to incorporate two screens, which I'm not getting any ideas.
Hmm.
All I can think of right now is what if they tried doing what they did with Sonic Extreme?
Ah, that.
It's just something about building this world or what how this world was built.
Hmm. I mean, undoubtedly, plot-wise, it'll probably be something that Robotnik, after if they continue off from where Generations left off, which I'll laugh if that happens. Probably he finds a new way to create instead of trying to take over Sonic's world. He decides he's going to build his own world, and he's found this mysterious substance which can build worlds for himself. And obviously, Sonic and Tails go off to see what's happening, and then you find out he's up to something more devious and stuff, and you got to stop him. I mean,
Hmm.
that's just a rough idea of what it is, but if that ends up in the bloody game, it's like, oh my god, I've been watching this series too long. I know how the tricks work now.
Yeah, there's one little thing though I don't want to be in this game is to be like Generations.
Hmm.
I don't want overabundance of 2D gameplay.
Hmm.
It's a 3D game. Use it. It's kind of run its course by now. Yes, it's only been three games, but was Sonic 4 intercutting between them and kind of a more 2D'd out?
Hmm.
I like to see a bit more 3D experimentation. You
Hmm.
almost had it with Generations because you focused a lot more on the modern sections, but you still had 2D parts,
Hmm.
which is not good. You're cutting corners here just to appease two fan bases.
Hmm. So the problem is the Sonic games these days are pretty much driven by, I think, by Sonic's communities, or particularly the mad community of Sonic.
Of the recent games, yes, but I want to see them experiment a bit more. I want to see go back to what between Adventure and Heroes was. Yeah, you had gimmicks, but that was given.
Hmm.
That's how you get a series to evolve,
Hmm.
not devolve into what was making taking what was good then and incorporate into now because it doesn't mesh well.
Hmm. The point is then again because this is going to be a Wii U game. Obviously, they'll try and do something probably with like the screen, obviously. So they'll try and do something where you have to do certain things
Yeah,
via
that's what I
ads.
was talking about earlier.
Yeah, but which again is expected. I'm expecting that from the get-go. I'm not expecting at all for them not to try and do something new because frankly they need to every now and again. And this whole argument, this is again both a good side and a bad side. The good side of trying something new is obviously you keep the series interesting, you keep it relevant, and you ideally keep it. Ideally, if something works, you can build upon that idea and you make it work even better in the next time, in next games.
Hmm.
The downside, obviously, is if it doesn't work, or in many cases it's not done as well. It works, but it's not brilliant. It's not what it should have been in the first place. People are going to throw stones at Windows for saying how dare you lie to us and all that stuff.
But that happens every time.
It does, yeah.
You can't say, "Oh, Sega betrayed us." No, you're not. You fucking grew up.
Hmm.
That's what some I don't get with some people. Sonic is essentially a kids franchise, but
Hmm.
they're getting so hardcore and so devoted that they expect their franchise to remain the same, even though they themselves are growing up and getting better at games, getting a more wider range of thoughts. Yet they still go back saying, "Oh, that was good then. Why not do it now?"
Yeah.
Well, if you want to play then, go then.
Hmm. Actually, here's something funny I want to point out, actually, because the last few days, actually, one thing I would just say is I've got an iPad, and one of the games I've been playing recently is Worms Crazy Golf, which is, from the name alone, you're thinking, that sounds like a really odd idea. A Worms game with golf. It's like, and trust me, I went to the studio that made the games, and even they were thinking, how the hell do you actually make a golf game with worms in? And trust me, they were actually thinking about, this because again, it sounds like a really old idea and it could go tits so. But believe me, I've been playing it for a while. Trust me, it's a really, really fun game. It's a really well developed game. And to be honest, it still feels like a Worms game, even though it's a golf game.
Isn't that the one that's still 2D, but you basically blow each other up with golf balls?
It is pretty much. I mean, that's the thing about the game is it takes the basis of what makes a Worms game. It's still a strategy game. You have to sort of figure out ideally where the ball's going to go and particularly where it's going to hit and stuff. But the fact that it's not about trying to kill all the other worms in between. It's like how do you get the ball into the hole in as few shots you can. That's still very much like a Worms game, trying to figure out how do you take out your opponents without using up all your items or, ended up having your only one worm standing and, you got four to kill off.
Hmm.
But I'm saying that alone is how you evolve a game series. I mean, again, many people would say, it's still, it's not a traditional Worms game. And trust me, they've done that as well. They went to 3D. They did 3 games. The first one was still Worms, but it just wasn't as well. They did Worms 4, which was basically just a bunch of ideas they had that they wanted to do in 3D, but they never had the chance, so they made that and it didn't work. Then they made Worms 4, which is basically everything they got wrong in 3D fixed and made it work. And even then, people still say we like it, but we want the 2D ones back. And then after that, they've been going on this sort of backwards and forward cycles between. On the one hand, they still make 3D games. They re-released 3D and 4 and Ultimate as a package on Xbox Live and Steam. But they've also done Worms Revolution, which is still a 2D game, but it's built in 3D. Essentially, what they've done, particularly with eight generations, would be Sonic 4 2, because essentially that is a 2D game, but it's built obviously in 3D.
Basically, fanboys, shut the fuck up and just deal with it.
Kind of, but I'm trying to say there's always a
That's
good.
it. I'm not really to sound harsh with that, but that's basically what it is. It's like, just grow up, just accept it. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Hmm,
No need to do petitions. There's no need to write angry comments. There's no need to scream your fucking heads off.
yeah. I think the biggest problem is in this day and age, we feel like because of the power of the internet and all stuff, we feel like we can control how these things actually happen. It's like we have the end saying of how things should be rather than what people
Yeah.
making should be.
If you don't make it the way I like it, I'm going to Metacritic and make a review of 1 out of 100, and you will fucking lose.
Yeah, exactly
That
that.
is exactly what it is. People go for Metacritic every time. It's like you have to reside just to that. And just because you didn't like it doesn't mean that no one else did.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of people say they didn't like Unleashed. I fucking love Unleashed.
I did. I mean, to be honest, I've always said this. I'll say it again. Unleashed is really Sega getting on their knees, going, "We're so sorry for the fuck up of '06. We really, 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 really,
Yeah,
really sorry for the fuck up. We promise we'll make it better. We promise you it will take time, but trust us, we'll never fuck up like that again."
and they got better. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Werehog wasn't the greatest idea,
No, it
but
wasn't. It wasn't
was it
terrible, but
was it broken?
not
No.
really. It was unfair in places, but that's the difference between difficulty and broken.
Skyscraper Scamper that night, Act One. Fuck
Oh
you.
God, yes. If you trip off, you'll get hit by Spike and you'll fall to your doom. Or if you get hit by his boss, you'll get stunned and then you'll fall to your doom because there's no barriers.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's not broken. That's just game design
that's
has
just,
been dicks.
that's just unfair.
Yeah,
But
that's just the game
it's
design has been a
doable. It's just
bitch.
that you have to stop running in and hitting people.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes, let's be honest here, sometimes game developers will be a bit of a dicks at times. They will purposely make levels hard on purpose. Not because the levels are broken, it's just because they want to make the players suffer. Trust me, they do.
Like Sonic and All Stars Racing Transform with the X-Class difficulty. Fuck you, Summer Digital. That is not reasonable difficulty. That is fucking obtuse.
Dan, you have to remember they're from Sheffield. They know hard.
Yet they distribute it into the rest of the fucking world. I'm not an avid cat race gamer, but at least I'm good at it to actually able to do 150cc of Mario Kart and expert in Sega All Stars Racing.
Hmm.
S-Class is fucking ridiculous.
It is. I think it's them basically saying, well, if they want hard, we'll give them hard.
And you have to do all S ranks. You can rank time. You have to painstakingly go through the World Tour mode, trying to do A class on every single fucking mission. Some of which you had to sacrifice to go to a B class because it's too damn hard. And honestly, some of those missions are fucking brutal.
Hmm.
And then, as you finish the fucking can't remember what the fifth tour is. After you do that one, you get the Race of Ages, and then you're able to watch the credits. Take a fucking long time to get through them, and it doesn't have the same kind of catchy song you expect it to have. But
Now, it doesn't have
yeah,
a song by Bentley Jones, which is a bit of a unfortunate thing.
bit of a pisser. Yeah. And after that, I thought, oh, okay. Wonder if I do anything else. You have to complete all the Grand Prix just to unlock the Ages character in Riala. No, there's a sixth fucking tour to do. But okay, something extra. Then it unlocks S class. And you think, oh, only S class for the Superstar tour. No, S class is now unlocked for every other fucking tour there is, forcing you to go through the fucking levels again that you painstakingly did on A class to do again on S class to get one fucking measly star. And it's so blisteringly unfair. I have rage quit so many times I would consider throwing my controller at a fucking wall.
Have you considered filming yourself doing that and putting it on YouTube? Because that will get a lot of ratings.
maybe.
Trust
And
me, I've seen. If you do a video when you get pissed off at a game, you will get a lot of viewers, my friend.
also, and on top of that, it's not only for the world tour, but it's also unlocked for time trials and the fucking world tour mode, meaning you have to go through all those again on S class. No fucking child above the age of 7 is going to go through that.
No.
I'm 23 years old and I'm pissed over it. What do you think a 10-year-old on sugar is going to do?
Sacrifice his console to the greater god, I think.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the game, but
Yeah.
Jesus, Stephen, what the fuck? When I meet him again, I'm going to ask him, why did you make the S class so brutally unfair in what in all Celebration Transformed? Why? Just tell me that. Why?
If we do meet him, if his answer is basically, well, people kept saying the first one was too easy, it's like, don't listen to them. Never listen to people like that. Because frankly,
Oh,
these
okay,
people.
okay. Oh, people do too. Was there a programming error like in Devil May Cry 3 where the actual hard mode will swap for the normal one? So A class is the hard mode and B mode is hard mode and A is super hard and there's extreme.
hmm
It was supposed to be Sonic Lost Worlds, wasn't it? On Lost Track.
Yes. We could just call it Sonic and everything else. But I have to admit, I am interested in terms of what Sonic Lost World's going to be. I mean, obviously we'll find out a bit more before E3. That's one of the things they've said.
Pretty much, yeah. Hopefully get like a teaser trailer because it looks like an intro or some form of an intro, like in Sonic Colors or Black Knight.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Sonic 4, actually, just a little bit, because again, it's Sonic and Tails on a plane, which, anything
I
to do.
very much doubt this will have to be a continuity.
No, I'm not going to say this is Sonic 3, this is Sonic 4 3. I'm just saying that in general, but But again, I'll be surprised if they come out saying we came up with this idea like between generations and forwards, like, oh, we had this idea but we weren't too sure how to work it, but then we decided to put it on the Wii U and like, oh, everything works now.
Hmm.
Just saying that might happen, that may not happen.
Now the biggest question is, what's that first Sonic title going to be? The unannounced one.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it is going to be Sonic 4 3, thank God, because I've been,
Yeah, but that'll be on Nintendo only. So I'm not too sure that'll be Sonic 4 3. I'm
maybe.
guessing it's either going to be Sonic Rush 3D, which I am hoping for.
Yeah.
Please, Sega, for the love of everything, make a Sonic Rush 3, please.
hmm
Or it's the third storybook game, the one that's been rumored to go around for the past
Yeah,
3 years.
yeah. That would be. I will admit that would surprise me if they really do that.
Like Sonic in Ancient Greece or Sonic and Roman Empire, which has been hinted a few times.
Yeah,
Ancient Greece sounds fucking good.
it sounds like the next step really to go from Romanites, Arthurian legends to Greek mythology.
Hmm.
It sounds good enough. I mean, they could do something obviously with Sonic the Hedgehog's turn on it because most people think if you could Greek mythology in video games, they think God of War. It's like, well, this is a chance for Sonic the Hedgehog to do something without having giant monsters with tits on. Trust me, God of War
Someone's
definitely.
going to make a picture of Rooster Bat.
Oh fucking hell! What have I done?
It's the internet, Nikki. Just calm down.
I know, but what have I done? Me and my mouth.
Oh, please. Natch has done much worse.
But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it. At least we got a new. At least we know that there's going to be a new proper Sonic game coming out. That's a good thing.
Finally. Just,
Yeah,
just, just that we now need to splash out on a £300 on a console.
yeah, exactly. But hey, it's not the first time we've done that. Let's face it.
No, last time was about 200 quid.
Hmm. Like I said before, what we said before. It's for a new console. They need a game for it. This is what they need, along with Rayman.
Yeah.
And probably, the next Zelda game, whenever that's going to come out, because undoubtedly they're going to be doing that right now.
Furthermore, there's no HD colors and there's no Wii U version of Sonic Generations.
Exactly.
So, tough shit. Give us your money.